Assalamu alaikum dear students. Today we will continue with the second chapter of lesson 2 Nicobobinus, that's on book page number 8, 9 and 10. As we have read in the first chapter about the adventure of Nicobobinus and Rosie, they set off on a journey to discover the land of dragons and how they face different situations and problems. जैसे कि पहले चैप्टर में हमने निकोबॉबिनस और रोजी के एडवेंचर के बारे में, उनके सफ़र के बारे में पढ़ा कि वो कैसे लैंड ऑफ ड्रैगन्स को डिस्कवर करने के लिए निकलते हैं और रास्ते में उनको मुख्तलिफ़ किस्म के मुश्किलात का सामना करना पड़ता है। कैसे निकोबॉबिनस जो है वो एक बहुत ही बड़ी मुश्किल में फंस जाता है जब एक आदमी उसका पीछा करता है और उसको पकड़ने की कोशिश करता है और निकोबॉबिनस खुद को बचाने के लिए वहाँ से भागता है। ओपन योर टेक्स्ट बुक पेज 8 चैप्टर 2 Nicobobinus ran as fast as he could across the lawn, down the path, round a hedge and into a little shed and bolted the door. Nicobobinus was running fast to save himself and he crossed through different places and suddenly he saw a small building that is used for storing things such as garden tools. He went inside and closed the door. "Open up," cried the man, and the hinges creaked and the door shook as he banged it with his fist. The man was trying to open the door. He pushed the door very hard, badly, and he was shouting by saying then that "Open the door, that's door not going to last long," thought Nicobobinus to himself, and he dragged a large old stone roller up against it. To save himself, Nicobobinus thought that maybe the door the man break the door and come inside. So what Nicobobinus did, he dragged a large old stone roller which he found there against the door. "Open this door at once. Do you hear?" the man was shouting, but Nicobobinus did not hear anything at all, as he was too amazed by what he had found. Now Nicobobinus could not hear the voice of the man because he was totally lost by the sight. He found something very amazing when he removed the roller stone. "You will have to come out eventually," the man was saying, "and the longer you leave it, the worse it will be for you." But he could have saved his breath. Nicobobinus was on his knees examining what he had revealed when he moved the roller. He brushed off the dust and undid the catch and then lifted it up. "Right, I am going to break this door down," said the man, and then because he knew he would have to repair the door himself, he added, "Do you hear?" Now Nicobobinus was totally amazed by the sight. He was on his knees and he was examining the place which he discovered after removing the roller. He brushed the dust off and he lifted the thing which he found. वहाँ पे वो एक नई चीज़ दरियाफ्त करता है, एक जगह दरियाफ्त करता है जब वो रोलर स्टोन को वहाँ से हटाता है, स्टोन रोलर को वहाँ से हटाता है, ठीक है। और वहाँ पे भी एक पैसेज बना होता है, एक रास्ता बना होता है, ठीक है। इसलिए वो बड़ा ही खुश होता है उसको देख के और वो उस आदमी के बारे में बिल्कुल भूल जाता है। एंड द मैन वॉज कंटिन्यूसली शाउटिंग दैट "Open the door." But Nicobobinus did not hear. Nicobobinus had disappeared through the trap door. There was another door on the floor he had discovered and was running down stone steps that were slippery with slime and that smelt of graveyards and that went down and down deeper into the ground until it became pitch black. वो एक अंदर की तरफ जैसे सुरंग होती है उस तरह का एक रास्ता पैसेज था और वो उस अंदर की तरफ निकोबॉबिनस अंदर की तरफ जाता है, ठीक है। पत्थर के बनी हुई सीढ़ियाँ होती हैं जो कि बहुत ही स्लिपरी होती हैं और बहुत ही अजीब सी किस्म की वहाँ पे स्मेल होती है, लेकिन अंधेरा भी बहुत ज़्यादा होता है, लेकिन निकोबॉबिनस फिर भी नीचे की तरफ जाता है, अंदर की तरफ जाता है। "Rosie," said Nicobobinus to himself, This is all your fault. Now he was afraid. वो अब उसको एक खौफ महसूस होता है और वो ख़ुद से बातें करते हुए कहते हैं, रोज़ी दिस इज़ जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ यू, जो कुछ भी मेरे साथ हुआ है इट्स जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ यू. He heard his heart pounding and his steps echoing along the dank rock of the narrow passageway until all at once there was nothing, and before he realized he was falling in the blackness he was. जैसे जैसे वो नीचे की तरफ जा रहा था उसका दिल जो है वो ज़ोर से धड़क रहा था, ठीक है, और वहाँ पे बस उसको एक एको, एक अपनी ही आवाज़ महसूस उसको सुनाई दे रही थी, और जैसे जैसे वो अंदर की तरफ गया अंधेरा जो है वो बढ़ता गया. पेज 9. Several thoughts flashed through his mind at the same time. जब भी आप अंधेरे में कहीं हों तो आपको मुख्तलिफ़ किस्म के ख़यालात घेरते हैं, आप खौफज़दा होते हैं. तो वही सिचुएशन निकोबॉबिनस के साथ थी, मुख्तलिफ़ किस्म की सोच उसको आ रही थी. The first was something along the lines of bother, only a bit ruder. The second was a rather unkind thought about his best friend who had instigated the whole expedition, and it involved her dangling over a snake pit while humorous fierce dragons flew at her chanting. Second thought was about Rosie, who told Nicobobinus about their expedition, about their journey in advance, that what they are going to have when they will go to the land of dragons, और किस तरह वो अपने मंत्र और जादू से जो है वो ड्रैगन्स पे सवार होकर सफ़र करेगी, और मुख्तलिफ़ चीज़ें वो उसको एडवांस में बताती हैं. How could you do it to him? Poor Nicobobinus. The third thought was, suppose it's a well, a deep unused well with slimy, slippery sides that you could never climb, and icy water at the bottom. That ना उसको ये सोच भी आती है कि हो सकता है कि ये एक कुआं हो जिसको कभी भी इस्तेमाल ना किया गया हो, जो बहुत ही स्लिपरी हो और जहाँ पे स्मेल बहुत ज़्यादा हो, और नीचे इसके एक बहुत ही ठंडा पानी हो, ठीक है. अब उसको ये एक कुआं लग रहा था. At this point he discovered it was not a well. He discovered that it is not a well. He made this discovery very suddenly and very painfully, and this discovery was very painful for him. Okay, oof, said Nicobobinus, and he lay there in the pitch blackness with not a single breath left in his body for what seemed like the whole winter, but was probably only a few seconds. उसको जो वो लग रहा था कि एक ठंडा पानी नीचे होगा, वो ऐसा कुछ नहीं था. जैसे जैसे वो नीचे गया तारीकी बढ़ती गई, लेकिन वो कुआं भी नहीं था, वो कुछ और था, वो जगह कोई और जगह थी. He came to himself, in fact, just as a stone hit him on the head. अचानक उसके सर जो है एक पत्थर से टकराया. Oof, said Nicobobinus again, and then realized he could hear footsteps high above him. He heard footsteps of someone, means कोई उसके पीछे आ रहा था. Someone was following him. Okay, stop, sir, he called out. He said that, please stop, sir, but the footsteps kept on coming down. But that person was coming toward Nicobobinus. Ha ha! I have got you now, cried the man. He was the same man who was following him, okay? And I shall beat every bone in your body until it is black. And the man could not complete his sentence. Something happened to him, okay? वो उसको कहता है कि मैं आपकी हड्डियां तोड़ दूंगा, आपके जिस्म में एक हड्डी भी सलामत नहीं होगी, ठीक है. और वो अपना जुमला मुकम्मल नहीं कर पाता. क्यों नहीं कर पाता? Nicobobinus supposed the man was going to say blue. After black the man was going to say blue, but no. The next word he uttered sounded more like it's a sound, okay? It was not a word with which Nicobobinus was at all familiar, but he understood its meaning perfectly and moved smartly out of the way. Now what? It was a sound that something fall down, okay? It fell down, and the man, he fell down, okay? वो आदमी गिर गया था, उसको वो आवाज़ गिरने की आई और वो बहुत ही रिलैक्स हो गया. Are you all right? He asked the man. There was silence. The man did not reply. Okay, Nicobobinus felt his way back in the pitch dark until his hand touched the man's leather jerkin. Now Nicobobinus came close to the man, and in the dark his hand touched the man's leather jerkin. जैसे अंधेरे में आप लाइट चली जाए और बहुत अंधेरा हो जाए, ठीक है, और आपको कुछ भी नज़र ना आ रहा, तो आप हाथ से जो है इधर उधर हाथ वो मारते हैं कि कहीं कोई चीज़, किसी चीज़ को आप टच कर जाए, ठीक है, आपको रास्ता समझ में आ जाए। तो वो जैसे ही उस अंधेरे में वो भी हाथ मारते तो उसका हाथ जो उस आदमी के जैकेट को लगता है। द मैन वॉज लाइंग एज स्टिल एज डेथ बट ही वॉज ब्रीदिंग। द मैन वॉज एज स्टिल एज ही वॉज death, as he died. He was not, but still he was breathing, means he was alive. Okay, turn the page, that is page number 10. I must get help, said Nicobobinus to himself, and he began groping around in the blackness, find another way out. Now Nicobobinus was blindly searching for a passage that could help him to go out. वो ऐसी जगह की तलाश में था कि कहीं से वो बाहर निकल जाए. When he found it, however, his heart sank. The only exit appeared to him to be very narrow gap down by the floor, no more than a foot high. He found a place to exit, but the place, that passage was very narrow. ठीक है, बहुत ही तंग सी जगह उसको नज़र आती है, लेकिन जिसमें से उसके लिए गुजरना मुमकिन नहीं होता. He can't swim through that in the pitch dark. He can't even twist like a worm through that passage. Okay, he said to himself, but at that very moment he heard Rosie's cheerful voice saying, you can do it. Now he could hear Rosie's voice that is encouraging him by saying that you, Nicobobinus, you can do it, you can do it. Okay, so उसको एक आवाज़ सुनाई देती है जो कि रोज़ी की होती है. इट्स इन his mind, वो उसके जहन में होता है. अच्छा, असल में रोज़ी वहाँ नहीं थी कि आप ये कर सकते हो, और वो कोशिश करता है उस तंग से रास्ते से गुजरने की. Nicobobinus span round, and there, to his immense surprise, was nothing. No Rosie, no anybody. Nicobobinus measured the passage by his hands, and for his immense surprise there was nothing, no Rosie, nobody. उसको जैसे आवाज़ रोज़ी की सुनाई देती है, लेकिन वहाँ होता कोई भी नहीं है. ठीक है, but I don't know if it leads anywhere, he said to the voice in his head, and it's such a tight squeeze I might get stuck. हो सकता है कि मैं गुजरते हुए इस पैसेज में कहीं फंस जाऊं, क्योंकि बहुत ही तंग है. ठीक है, वो जहन में ही, अपने ख्यालों में ही रोज़ी को जवाब दे रहा होता है. He did not hear Rosie's voice again, but he knew what it would have said, and that was how he found himself wriggling down a narrow passage of stone in the pitch black. He screamed and he wriggled there in the black for a long, long time, and the tunnel got narrower until he could hardly inch along it. Now, जैसे ही वो उस पैसेज में से गुजरता है, जैसे जैसे वो रेंगता हुआ उसमें से गुजरता है, वो जगह आगे से उतनी ही तंग होती जाती है. I am going back. Suddenly he thinks that he must go back, but he did not. He just kept wriggling and squirming until suddenly he found he could stand up. He took a pace forward and immediately fell over stone steps leading up. He suddenly found steps that were leading up. Okay, उसको जैसे ही वो रेंगता हुआ आगे जाता है तो उसको एक स्पेस नज़र आती है, उसको सीढ़ियाँ नज़र आती हैं जो कि ऊपर की तरफ जाती हैं. Oh, he said, although what he really meant was thank goodness. उसको रास्ता नज़र आ जाता है ऊपर की तरफ जाने का. He began to climb, and he was still climbing some minutes later. It must be a tower. अब वो सोचता है कि हो सकता है ये टावर हो. और द ग्रैंडेस्ट हाउस इन वेनिस, ये बहुत ही बड़ा कोई घर हो वेनिस में. बट एट दैट वेरी मोमेंट ही saw a crack of light. He stretched out his hand and found himself touching a catch that clicked softly in the dark. A panel suddenly slid open and Nicobobinus stepped through into the most amazing room he had ever seen. अगेन निकोबॉबिनस एक ऐसी जगह, एक ऐसे कमरे में पहुंच जाता है जो कि बहुत ही खूबसूरत और बहुत ही बड़ा होता है और वो उसको देखकर बहुत ही ज़्यादा हैरान हो जाता है. राइट, यहाँ पे चैप्टर नंबर 2 भी फिनिश हो जाता है. इफ़ यू वांट टू नो दैट व्हाट हैपन नेक्स्ट टू निकोबॉबिनस, यू कैन रीड द नॉवल निकोबॉबिनस बाय टेरी जोन्स. ओके, ये कंप्लीट नॉवल है जिसके सिर्फ 2 चैप्टर्स आपके बुक में इंक्लूडेड हैं. ठीक है, अगर आपने ये नॉवल पढ़ के एंजॉय करना है तो आप इसको पढ़ सकते हैं. ठीक है, थैंक यू सो मच, हैव अ ग्रेट डे.